Sonic Racing Crossworlds is right around the corner, releasing on September 25th, and it already feels different from the Sonic racing games that we've seen before. This isn't just another kart racer with Sonic slapped on the box. Sega is swinging big this time, fusing high-speed racing with chaotic world-shifting mechanics that promise to make every lap unpredictable. And so today, I want to break it all down. What Crossworlds actually is, what makes it stand out, what fans and critics are already saying, and the handful of things to keep an eye on once it launches. And by the end, you'll have the full picture, both the hype and the reality before you hit the track. And so at its heart, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is a kart racer, but with a twist. Dimensions collide mid-race. Sega calls these transformations cross zones, and they're the new big hook. You might start racing through Green Hill Zone, drift into a travel ring, and suddenly the whole environment melts into chemical plant. Different music, new hazards, new shortcuts, the track itself mutates on the fly. And it's flashy, it's chaotic, and it's very Sonic. That unpredictability is what makes Crossworlds feel unique. Kart racing is already chaotic by nature, but Sega is cranking that up and saying, you can't just memorize a track, you have to adapt. And now that's exciting, but it's also the kind of feature that needs balance. Too much chaos and it risks frustrating players. But for now, the previews say it hits a good sweet spot, but it's definitely one of those things that we'll need to see long term. And so what is it like once you're behind the wheel? Well, first off, the big thing you'll notice is the momentum system. This isn't just about drifting to get a boost. You build momentum by chaining actions together, drafting behind rivals, hitting ramps, pulling off stunts, and timing your boosts. And so keep that flow alive and your speed stacks in a way that feels pure Sonic. Fast and fluid. And then there are the Chaos mods, which are basically your items but tied into Sonic's lore. You've got Chaos Emerald pulses that warp the track, Eggman bots dropping in as obstacles, and ring shields that give you a defensive edge. They look flashy and they add personality beyond the usual kart racing toolkit. And finally, synergy perks. Certain characters get bonuses when they're paired together. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles might trigger a team dash effect, for example. And so it encourages experimenting with lineups instead of just picking your one favorite racer every single time. And so together, these systems make Crossworlds feel familiar enough that anyone can pick it up, but layered with enough depth that you can actually want to master it. And now let's talk single player. Crossworlds isn't just a pile of tracks, it actually has a campaign with story beats, which is pretty cool. The premise is classic Sonic. Eggman messes with dimensional rifts, everything goes sideways, and suddenly characters from different Sonic eras are colliding. That's why classic Sonic can line up against modern Sonic, or why adventure era backdrops bleed into Mania-style stages. But beyond the setup, you've got cutscenes, character interactions, and even boss races sprinkled throughout. And so imagine tearing through a track only to face Eggman in a tricked-out mech at the end. It's lighthearted, but it gives context and a reason to keep playing solo beyond just chasing trophies. And is it going to be super deep? Probably not. Nobody's expecting Oscar-level storytelling here, but it's a step towards making the game feel like a complete package instead of just a party mode. And now outside of the campaign, Crossworlds comes with plenty of options. You have Grand Prix Cups with multiple races each, time trials if you want to chase ghosts and leaderboards, custom matches where you control the rules, everything from speed to item frequency to whether cross zones even appear. You've got local split screen for up to 4 players, and of course online play for up to 12 racers with both casual friend lobbies and ranked matches where you climb leaderboards. And yes, the big one, crossplay. PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Switch, all connected. And that is a massive win because nothing kills an online community faster than splitting it across platforms. And of course, crossplay only works if the servers hold up. If the netcode stumbles at launch, it won't matter how many platforms are supported. But if it runs smoothly, this could be the most connected Sonic racing game that we've ever had. And now for the racers themselves. Crossworld launches with 23 Sonic characters. All the heavy hitters are here. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, Metal Sonic, but Sega's also throwing in some deeper cuts to please longtime fans. Vehicles are customizable too. Swap parts, tweak stats, and build something that fits your style. Tighter turns, heavier knockback, faster acceleration. It's not a sim racer, but it's more involved than just a pick a cart. And Sega isn't shy about its post-launch plans. DLC packs are already confirmed. A Minecraft pack with Steve, Alex, and Creeper, a Nickelodeon pack with SpongeBob and Patrick, a Pac-Man crossover, and even links hinting that Mega Man might show up later as well. And now that is all exciting, but it does raise a question. how much of the game's variety will be behind paid content. Kart racers thrive on having lots of racers and tracks, and if the best stuff ends up being behind DLC, fans will definitely notice. But still, if Sega balances free updates with premium packs, Crossworlds could have a steady stream of content that keeps it alive well beyond launch. But let's be real here, the chaos is the selling point. Cross zones flipping the track mid-race, flashy chaos mods firing off, synergy perks, stacking surprises, this game is designed to keep you guessing. And that's fun, it's unpredictable in a way that makes every race feel fresh. But the obvious question is longevity. Will it still feel fun after dozens of hours, or will the novelty wear off? That's always a gamble with a big gimmick. And now previews so far have been positive. Outlets say the chaos feels controlled, not overwhelming. But until we all put in serious time, it's something to keep an eye on for sure. And now fans are buzzing. Social feeds are full of speculation about who else might make the roster, and clips of cross zones are getting people genuinely excited. Critics who played previews walked away impressed. They called the handling tight, the visuals slick, and the cross zones are more than just a gimmick. Some even said it finally feels like Sega's found its kart racing identity instead of chasing Mario Kart. But again, there's cautious optimism too. People want to see how stable online really is, how balanced the items and perks turn out, and whether Sega will stick with the game long term instead of dropping it after a few months. And so why should you care? Why is Sonic Racing Crossworlds a big deal? Because Sega isn't just making another throwaway racer. They're trying to carve out a real identity here. Crossworlds is leaning into chaos, leaning into Sonic's legacy, and setting up a roadmap that could keep players coming back with new content and crossovers. And it doesn't need to dethrone Mario Kart, what it needs to do is be fun. Build a community and show that Sonic Racing can stand on its own. Maybe some competition for Mario Kart to maybe change some things. And if Sega pulls it off, Crossworlds could be the most important Sonic spin-off in years. And so that, my friends, is Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which is dropping on September 25th. It's bold, it's colorful, and it's chaotic. The cross zones promise unpredictable races, the roster and customization give you options, the campaign adds flavor, and the DLC crossovers are already looking wild. And now, of course, there are still some unknowns. Balance, online stability, how DLC is handled, but even with those questions, this is easily the most ambitious Sonic racing game that we've seen. And now, whether it ends up being a masterpiece or just a fun distraction, one thing's for sure. Crossworlds is going to be loud, fast, and impossible to ignore. And so now, to put it back to you guys, what do you think about Sonic Racing Crossworlds so far? Are you already playing it because you got the game early? Are you waiting for it to drop fully on the 25th of September? Are you waiting for this game to go on sale, waiting to see the reviews, etc., etc.? Let me know in the comments down below because I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new, as I will continue to make more gaming news videos just like this one. Until next time.